Festy Hub Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, my fellow revelers? For those of you that know me, I am Manny. I also go by Frisky Hug, and I have this really cool podcast called the Festy Hub Podcast, where I bring in like these really cool guests and stuff. And we have a pretty cool one today. Her name is KatieWithTheBlueHair. I actually met her like 4 months ago. And I thought, she was just tagging along as like someone's girlfriend, and we bumped into each other again. And she was like, "Hey, if you're ever looking for somebody like with my talents and skills and stuff to be in your podcast, let me know." And I was like, "Oh shit, like, what do you do?" And she was like, "Oh, I do this, this, and this." So she's a visual jockey for like rap and EDM festivals. So it's like, I still didn't kind of understand what that was until we had this podcast, and now I literally know so much now. So it's like really cool to get that kind of knowledge. But yeah, so this is KatieWithTheBlueHair, visual jockey, and that's who we have for the guest for today. And let's see, I don't really know how to like update you guys on my life right now. I'm like drawing blanks. I usually give you guys like a little like 3-minute like, hey, this is what's going on in my life. But I guess I'll just put in that. Next, oh shoot, you know what? I'll look at my calendar right now and I'll actually just tell you guys what's going on. I only got some like local stuff coming in recently. So this weekend I'm going to go to California. I'm going to go see my mom. Haven't seen her in a minute, right? And then I told her like, please don't tell like any of your family that like I'm going to be there, because I just really just want to spend time with you, my siblings. I'm only there for 3 days. I really don't want to like make time for other people. And then the week after that, we have Drink Your Water and Zuba coming in Tampa. So if you guys are going to go to the TK Lounge, you guys can use promo code Frisky Hug. And then, yeah, come through for Drink Your Water at TK Lounge. I'll be there all day from beginning to end. Come say hi. 2 days before that, I am going to be going to, is it Jacksonville? It's over at Myth Nightclub. Yax and Zoopster are going to be there. So I'm going to be working with Blaze Entertainment on that one, just kind of like working on their Instagram. And, first time at Myth Nightclub, so that's going to be pretty badass for me, at least. I think that like going to new venues is always fun, because then I get to like see how it actually looks like. And then it really kind of lets me gauge somebody's hospitality when I'm there. And then that can kind of like gauge if I ever want to come back again. And then, so we had that Drink Your Water on Saturday. We have Yax and Zoopster on that Thursday. And in 2 weeks, we're going to have Imagine Music Festival. So I'm going to be there in Atlanta as of like Wednesday. But we're going to be there like bright and early on Thursday to kind of set up our camping and stuff. We will be at the pre-party. And then on Saturday, I am going to be emceeing the fashion show. So if you guys have any, cool outfits that you guys plan on wearing, you just want to show off, we are doing like a red carpet like fashion show. It's gonna have me in it, so that shit's gonna be funny as hell. And then after the show, we're all gonna just do whatever we're gonna do at the festival. I might have a meetup after on that same day too. I don't know yet. More news to come on the whole meetup thing. And then I'm gonna try to go to each pool party, but we'll see. Bottom line, if you guys are camping, you'll probably see me. And then I'm gonna be doing Lost Lands too. I'm going to be doing hopefully a workshop as well. So if you guys are in the camping area for that, you probably see me around again. But Lost Lands, I'm probably going to take it just a little chill. And that's all I can have just for now. Nothing's like ever concrete or, for me at least. I don't know how y'all do it, but I don't know if I'm going somewhere until like the day before. But okay. We have KatieWithTheBlueHair, and enjoy this week's podcast, guys. All right. So I'd like to welcome KatieWithTheBlueHair to the Festy Hub Podcast.
Yes, thank you for having me. I know we've been trying to plan this for like a while, since before my tour.
A few months.
Like literally 6 months maybe. And so I finally had some time. I'm excited to sit down with you.
Since the day of Pensacola, the block party thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
Cool. You know what's funny? I actually thought about dyeing my hair blue, and I was like, I don't want Katie to think I'm like copying her.
Oh my god, no! Listen, I used to low-key like when I'd see some girl in like the local scene that would dye, like did not have blue hair and go blue, I'd be like, oh my god. But now, I have a friend of mine who started getting into what I do, like below me, very cool, and she like started wearing their bandanas and dyed her hair pink. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like let's go. Like I love it, you know. So yeah, it like used to be like when as you grow as a person and you mature, like it's more like it's flattering that you got inspiration from me, you know. So I actually love when people dye their hair blue.
Yeah.
I want to dye everybody's hair blue.
I haven't decided what I want to do. Okay, so like I was in the army for like 7 years. I didn't get a chance to grow a beard. I didn't get a chance to dye and get piercings. And like now I'm just
Yeah.
like this like rebel, and I'm like piercing my ears. I want to pierce my nose. I want to
Do
like
it. Oh
mess with
yeah.
my hair. And like
You should. Why not?
well, that's like it, right? Like I didn't have a chance to ever decide why not. I just couldn't, So
Yeah,
now
because of your job and because of the medical, like the medical stuff you're doing, I
yeah,
bet probably too.
couldn't even
For
wear like
sure.
rings, so you have to take them off. That was just so annoying for me. And like
You're like, I'm boring now. I'm
yeah.
playing.
So now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out, and then like, now I'm like in between jobs. So like, okay, so the job that I want now, right? And we talked about this offline, but for the viewers that like they're listening and they're like, what the hell's going on? I quit my job. And I won't say why because there was just a lot of legal issues happening with my last job that I didn't want to be a part of anymore. I then was gonna look for another job, and I was looking for like more of like a work at home, like data entry, maybe like in the medical side, work as
Yeah,
work from
something
home,
remote.
billing or something. And then I started to realize that like why am I not like looking for something more in the entertainment media industry? Believe
Why?
it
Yeah.
believe it or not, I actually got like tons of interviews for like working for like television shows. Like there was one here in Orlando. They're like, oh yeah, if you could work like a couple days, and then like some of it will be remote, that'd be great. And I was like
yeah.
working for a television show. Like apparently like television shows, like even Fox News and those people, they all have Instagram, TikToks,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
they need somebody to run their media. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So like, but then I was talking about it to a couple EDM brands, and then I realized that I'm not using myself to my full potential. Like, why can't I just have a job in the EDM world? So, there's been a couple opportunities in the EDM, like there's a bunch of EDM companies that I'm like interviewing for right now, and I'm kind of trying to decide like, wow, like one of them is Blaze Entertainment. So I already promote for them, and he was like let me find like a job for you, like I can help you out, like we're growing and expanding, like I would love to have you as a bigger part of the team, and I'll pay you, like it's not a
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay. But I am looking for more of like a salary based job that would be more like a freelancing type thing. I'm like, I want to get more involved in the EDM scene. I'm like, why not? Like, why not?
No, that's literally your passion. And you already are so integrated into it. You know so many people and so much. It doesn't make any sense of why are you not monetizing what you love to do at this point? Because you're already in it. And you're I guess like we talked offline, but
Yep.
I think you're gonna sabatage your happiness and who you are as a person if you don't allow yourself to just like, yeah, do that. And I think it's gonna be it's like obviously a hard transition being jobless and like the anxiety and the stress and like the unknown is really scary. But I think once in a year you're gonna look back and be like, thank you, older version of myself, for doing that, because I would not be where I am now if you did not make that decision. And I look at myself that way all the time. Like, I do not know what it took that girl to make that decision. But girl, like, thank you, because we love life now. But
You
it
are
was
literally
hard.
in my head right now. I'm like, this is the shit that I'm like thinking, like in the present moment, which is the things you've been thinking that you were thinking about in the past. It's so funny because like
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been through that. I've been through the wanting to do something and do what you like love and what's drawn to you, and then being literally in a medical field, like this is money, this is what I'm supposed to do, like why, like I'm so dumb if I leave
yeah, I
this. I
know.
did that. I went through that, and it took like 3 years dead ass, and then it took a while. It took like a year and a half into it before I even really started having confidence in that decision. I at that point was like I dropped myself in, and I was like I had no backup plan, so I had to just like put my head down and burn through and do it. But the whole time I was doing it, I was just doing it because I knew I didn't have a backup plan. I wasn't
Yeah.
like confident that this was gonna work, honestly. And so it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then a year and a half in, when the seeds that you plant start growing, that's when you're like, bro, like all that head down shit really works. And I preach this to people all the time. Like, I would be a miserable human being if I still did what I thought I had to do to make other people happy.
And I think that's where I'm at in the present moment, right? And it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like your past is me in my present. And it's like I really just did this job because I transitioned out of the military and I just something that I knew how to do. And it's like it was paying the bills and I had to worry about money, right?
Exactly.
So enjoy my weekends, but miserable during the week. And like, why be miserable during the week? Like I don't
people always say like growing up, my parents would tell me you're gonna make money and that's gonna make you happy because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. And I thought obviously like, yeah, I want more money than what I had growing up. But then you realize that what you do to earn that money is 80% of your life. Like I was going to bed at 8 o'clock, waking up at 6:45, 5:45 to be at this medical office. And I was like, who cares how much money I'm making if I have to do this every day? Like, who wants to do this every day? And so that's when I realized it's not about money. It's like you're doing it the wrong way. Money doesn't make happiness. You have to find something that makes you happy, and then money will follow you. And it's like I said, it's a hard during that like where you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel during those first time. You don't see the money, and you don't see it for a while. Like I've been doing this working really hard for almost 4 years now, 3.5 years now. And this is the first year that I've really been like, finally start picking up and I'm busy and I'm making money. And it's like, this took a long time to get, it took years to get here. So I wanted my best advice would just be to, man, keep your head down and like, don't, all the voices in your head that are telling you like, oh, what have you done? Or like, you should go get another job. Or like, dude, you don't even have $4. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? Don't fucking listen to those heads because keep looking like, imagine where you want yourself in like, see, like, just even visions of who you are and what you want. See that and like, you're like, that's what I want. This is what all this is for. And that's so, and like, if you can do it, like, the reward is so great, you know. And I'm still like, I'm still excited, like, I'm still learning in that process, but it's starting to get to the point where I feel like I've done what's right for me now, you know.
Well,
So
Katie, like I'm really glad that you're like we're doing this and that you're here because there's actually like there's a good chunk of people that they're very interested in doing something more artistic in the EDM scene. One, they're not like there's people that are not in the EDM scene like at all, like
right.
and they want to get into it, but they want to get into it and doing things like kind of what you do, kind of what I do, like obviously we're not all DJ like musically inclined,
No, I am so actually. I did an interview recently, and I started my interview because it was with a bunch of girl DJs, rappers, like singers, and I was like, so I'm actually not musically talented at all. I have no musical talent at all. So I'm a very visual person. So I hit it at the visual side, and I crush it. But people don't really people see like the DJ, or there's the one person, but there's a team of 500 people behind you so that DJ can play right there. And like, so all these people love their job in the way, like not everybody wants to be a DJ or performer, like some of us want to be behind the scenes and some of us, and that's fulfilling. And like, yeah, I don't know if you guys understand, there's so many different jobs and there's stuff like that. I'm a VJ for like, who the hell is a VJ? Like, what job is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so niche, but there's so many jobs and there's so much to do. And I always encourage people to ask questions, reach out. Like, I only am here because I saw a girl at front of house, the radio on, and I messaged her on Instagram and said, yo, how'd you get your job? And she got me an internship, which started my whole life. And like, dead ass, like, all this, like a lot of the artists I've worked for, I've met them and been like, hey, if you need a VJ, let me work with you, and ask like, hey, can I do? And because the worst thing they can say is no, and if you do it in the right way, it expresses interest and expresses seriousness. And I think also anybody ask questions, hit someone up, be like, hey, this is really cool. How do you do this? How did you start? Like, and maybe you might get 2 no's, but you might get 10 other valuable pieces of information, and that's how you start. And that's ask for what you want. Like, ask this world for what you want, because if you do it, if you have genuine intentions, it will give it to you in one way or the other. But you have to ask, you have to move genuinely.
And a lot of people don't know that like these are real jobs. When I first started off, I know this is a bad word, but being an influencer, people did as an influencer, I didn't know this was a real job. I didn't know people could actually like I didn't know that I could get paid to be an influencer or go to festivals for free to be an influencer or get free stuff to like.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. These are jobs that I had no idea were even existed in the EDM
Dude,
world. You know.
I get paid more money than both my parents to like push buttons and like turn a screen on. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you have no idea like that this is my job. Like I'm like
Yeah.
I'm at a festival. You're right. I show up to festival sites every other week in a different city and I'm like, this is my job. This just feels like I'm coming here because this is sick to do.
Yeah.
Like it's so real. Like you don't even it's like it's fun because that's what you can't just be like you can't look for that though. You have to I'm telling you, you have to find what you love and,
Mhm.
and get into that and then the money like this the money will follow you once you're passionate because once you give your soul to something and you like you know what you want then like you don't let yourself fail and so when it, it's a process and it's a cycle and I feel
Yeah.
that yeah absolutely that people sorry I had a cotton out.
I'm gonna make a video of like every job in the EDM world. I'm gonna make a
You
that would be
should we should do that.
yeah. It's like just a big old list and be like, what does each job require you to do? Because like when I was
And then like
backstage one day.
a resource link. You can
Oh
put it on the
yeah.
web to like, hey, if you want this, this is like these are resources or like you should get the artists or people that you interview to write advice down and then put
Hmm.
those like in the links to that job. Like
Yeah.
something like that, to give people you're right, to put it in
Just like
front
a
of
little,
them.
yeah, just like a little start.
Yeah, where you can actually start. I love
I-
that. That's
one of
amazing.
my best friends, he was like, "Oh man, I really wish I could like sell my art to like ravers." I'm like, "You do know that's like a real thing, right?" He goes, "What are you
People do
talking
that.
about?" I'm like, "Yeah, did you know you could just apply to be a vendor and at like a small rave, you could start there, that way you don't have to pay much. And then once you get more money, throw the money into a festival, start selling it at like, dude, I mean, the ideas are insane. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing you can't do at a music festival. So, like right now, I'm gonna be going to Lost Lands, and I put in a proposal, to be a podcast interviewer. And most people wouldn't think that like this is a real job. Like, wait, you're like they're paying you to be here. Yeah, like this is like a real
Yeah,
job.
not only am I here, but I'm actually making money being here. That's how I feel all the time. I'm like, oh my God, no way.
Festival promoters are just looking for like more ways to expand and do more things. Like you never think that a person that does carnival stuff would be at a festival, but yeah, they have those. They have water slides. There's just insane amount of things that you could do at a festival.
It's like a festival is like a hub. It's like hard to explain because it is a concert, obviously, but it's not. It's like a I don't know, like a coming together of
Hmm.
it's obviously a community, but it's not like a community that people recognize in a way, but it's this unsaid thing of like everybody coming together and we all have like interests, so everybody like brings them in and puts them in the pot and then like more ideas and like creativeness develop from it and like yeah, you're right. You have no idea where festivals are gonna end off, like what
Yeah.
you're gonna see, what you're gonna hear, who's gonna be there. They're pretty magical. Like there's nothing else like an EDM festival, like
Yeah.
not like some other genre
I know you went to
festivals.
Rolling Loud.
Oh, can we talk about Rolling Loud? Oh my
Yes,
God.
let's get let's
I
go.
saw so I there's some goods and bads. I used to talk so much shit about Rolling Loud. I work with rappers. I
Mhm.
I was on tour with Russ. And I've done some stuff with Little Baby and Black. And I work with rappers. And it's a different level of the way they move compared to the way that EDM and anybody else moves. They just move more aggressively, strictly. It's just more of a high. I don't know. They're a lot. So when I went to Rolling Loud, I always used to talk so much shit about it and be like, I'm never gonna work it. But a company called Imminent,
Mhm.
who is a VJ collective and an animation studio, that's based out of LA. They just have a really soft spot in my heart, and I love working for them. They're so great. They honestly took my career to a next level by giving
Mhm.
me the opportunity this year to do these festivals. So they provide house VJs and they have a contract, I think, with Insomniac, but don't quote me on that. It could just be like they just do a lot of Insomniac festivals, but I think it's more of a serious agreement. They also so they provide every house VJ mostly for all these Insomniac festivals. So I went, they asked me to do Rolling Loud and I can't say no to them. So I was like, I'll go anywhere with y'all, like whatever, take it. And the festival site itself was massive. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Rolling Loud Miami, but I did not expect it to be that big. So it's really hard to move through the festival unless you have a golf cart, even for staff in the back. Like, it's a mile from stage to stage. And so that was a little bit frustrating because if you wanted to move, like, you had to call someone to get you, or like you had to walk, which wasn't the best. It was locked down backstage. Like, I had a front of house production, like not all access band. I couldn't get from backstage to catering to one stage. I couldn't smoothly move without going through GA crowds because you had to have like this band, this band, this band. Like,
Oh,
you had
wow.
to have a all access band, a stage band, a front of the house band. I was like, what does my band even do? What does my
Yeah.
band allow me to do? Like, it was a little ridiculous, and it's because the way rappers, move in high profile, so like whatever.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
it
But
was just so annoying, and like, it's like it doesn't it's not as much fun. It doesn't like give me as much joy to VJ for rap because they expect different. They don't expect the whole everything they expect 10 to 40% of your skill level. It's very easy. So it's just like it was an easy gig when it came to the actual. I got a smaller stage. I was very lucky. They actually put me on a smaller stage. And so we got like it was just really nice, and my stage closed early. So after that I got to get off and like explore. The art was cool. All of the like the installations were so sick. And like the merch was sick. I got my sister some merch. But man, it was just tolling. Like, there's just so many people. It's so hot. The people are just like they just move different. Like, I don't know. I definitely would not go as if my little sisters were gonna go. My little sisters were like, guess what? And whoever I don't know who that was gonna buy them tickets. VIP tickets to Rolling Loud Miami. And they told me this months ago. And I like in the kitchen and I was like, no, I'm shutting this down right now.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were like, no, I was like, I'll take you to any festival you want to go
Any
to.
other one.
But you are not going there by yourself. Like, no way. And then like months later, I was like, yeah, I'm working Rolling Loud. And she was so pissed off. That's why
Well,
I got her some
yeah.
merch. But it was like dangerous. Like, I wouldn't go there as a patron. It was too much. Just like the energy is just different,
I definitely feel like even like a regular EDM festival. I think like my siblings were gonna go and try it out for the first time. I definitely want to be there. I don't want like anything bad to happen, and just
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was like, I'll take you, but to anything else. Um, actually, I took her to Music Midtown in Atlanta when she was 14 because she wanted to see Post Malone first row. And I like took her at 14. I think ever since then she's like, no, I want to go. I'm like, you got to pick better festivals.
How old is she now?
She's 17. So, or
Okay.
she's about to turn 18. Oh my God. Oh my God. She's about to
Time
turn
flies, man.
18. Yes, she's about to turn 18 this month. So
EDC Las Vegas, it's time.
Vegas. Oh my God. We gotta ease her into Vegas. I've actually never even been to Vegas. I
Oh,
every year I get an opportunity. I have a band to go and I get some really nice gig that's gonna pay me a lot of money
yeah.
instead of going. And then I'm like, I can't like say no to $4,000,
E- EDC Las Vegas is to this date the only music festival that I actually have ever paid for to this day.
I only have one too. Imagine the first year was the only one I ever paid for, and then I started working in it. And so
Yeah.
then it's like I've just been, in it since then. But yeah, you're right. I'm like the
Yeah.
other actually last night a roommate's friend was like wanted us to go to Odessa, and I know the stage or the production manager of
Mhm.
Odessa. I was like, I can't hit him up and ask him for tickets this last minute, and
Don't
I'm
you ever
not
don't you
going.
ever feel like I hate asking my friends and people that I know for like
No,
tickets.
no, if we're like homies and I check on these people and they're close, they're not like people I haven't talked to in 6 months. Like, these are
Yeah.
homies, like work with them, very good friends of mine, very close to, I send heart emojis to them when I text them kind of people. So yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna pay because I know the stage manager, I know the
Uh-huh.
production manager, like I'm not paying for that. And then we ended up paying. Then he ended up paying for us to go, and it was fun. And it was like, but I was like, wow, I haven't sat in a crowd and
Mhm.
watched a show like this, like from field seats, back in like 3 years. It was
I
like
still want to go to Odessa. I just
it was. I didn't really know much about Odessa, and
Mhm.
the production is wild. Like, they have to spend so much money on pyro. Like, blasts are expensive just for
Yeah.
blasts, right?
How much
So
are
they
they?
had
Like,
like
you know?
If you want to use pyro at some mid-level festivals, if you're a mid-level artist, they offer it to you. Like not a headliner, but maybe a 7 o'clock slot, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Like you're gonna pay an extra $10,000 in your package.
Shut your
If you
mouth.
want, if you want pyro later in the night, like say you're like almost a headliner, you're gonna pay probably at a big festival $20,000. So I'm looking at the amount of pyro that Odessa used, and I'm looking at the amount of pyro, and I'm like, bro,
Really?
like they just spent so much money on pyro. Like they used so much pyro. It was crazy. It was a really beautiful show. The music was great, even from really, really far back. Everything was a really good show. Yeah, same thing with like lasers is an upgrade. It's like you have a base character and then you have to upgrade them. That's like how it works with production when you come in. So lasers, if you want a laser cone, 10 grand. $10,000 for a laser
This is
cone.
such valuable like information because it's funny, the normal raver, I knew that it costs money because of Gesture did a whole TikTok video on it. But like your average raver doesn't actually know like this costs money. Like no,
yeah, it costs company.
Oh yeah.
You have to buy these artists don't just walk up and they have to buy these packages. They have to buy like they have to if they want their own. People don't realize, like what I was saying, I have a house VJ. I go, and if the artist doesn't bring a VJ, then I do their visuals because they're gonna supply someone usually pretty good, but sometimes okay. It depends on where you're at. And so if you want to bring, like if you have a show you want to look the perfect way, you have to bring your own team, which then you have to pay for this human being to fly. They have to pay to fly me out somewhere and to have me do a show. It's gonna cost like minimum with all my expenses $1,000 for my hotel room to pay. Like it's like an extra every show paying someone $1,000 to $2,000. It's like you have to buy these upgrades to your show. Like a lot of artists, if you say you got or not opener, but you say you got like a 4 p.m. artist, right? Like pretty good artist, decent artist on a main stage, and you gave them the production that an artist 4 tiers above them have, and maybe 3 tiers slots above. You gave them the actual the lighting, the video, like their own team. They show would not be any different. Okay, like when it comes to like the experience, like you got like obviously these artists like G Jones and some of these artists that are really visionary, they have their own. They're not just like a set; they have their own vibes, and that's really cool. But a lot of these artists are relying on their production, on their stage man, like on these people to make them look good. If not, there would just be a DJ playing music up there, and the music is something, but you need to add everything else around it, the filler, and people don't realize like they rely on them in a way in production. Yeah, so it's like even if an artist at this level could pay to have the production, you could drop a random raver in front of them, they'd be like, this is it, I love it, and like it could actually be like a mid-level DJ.
Do you have like a USB drive or a couple thumb drives that you carry with you at all times just in case someone needs a
like thumb drives of what, like
visuals?
Oh yes, no, I'll show you.
Okay.
It's so cute. I'm so extra.
No, I love it.
All right. This is what I carry with me everywhere I go. Okay. This is my content bank. These are just hard drives.
Okay.
Content. Yes. And then this is my hard drive. This is my backup. It's like fireproof. We got everything has stickers on it with my phone number. Maybe I shouldn't have showed that. Oh well. Call me.
Call me.
Well, call me. Send me a text message. I'll just block you. Whatever. Or unless you want to ask me some questions, hit me up.
Bro, if they have to pause the video, zoom in.
They're gonna like. You deserve to answer.
You deserve to get blocked.
No, I'll answer one question. Okay, so they all have these stickers on them. It has like my whole life in them, and then I have this cute little blue pelican. I carry this everywhere. Like
you're so smart.
Everywhere. But it's scary because my backup's in here too, so I probably should put an air tag in here. I need to do
that today. Carry, that's so scary. I had one of my hard drives that I used that I had like carried all my content on for like video editing because I'd edit on the plane and stuff like that. I guess it got smashed in my bag somehow, and all of my content got deleted. So like I had like 5 more vlogs that I still needed to edit, deleted, all for nothing. And
5?
I'm like, 5 vlogs. I'm like, dude, that is literally like, because
gut wrenching.
because when I go to a festival, part of my contract is I'm gonna create vlogs during the day. That's part of my contract. So so now I can't
I
fulfill
didn't
those
know that. That's cool.
yeah, so now I can't fulfill that contract, So now I was like, oh, like I'm like it put me in a bad position.
Right, because then they're like, oh, we're not going to do this for you
Yeah.
again if you can't give us what you had, the agreement. Wow,
Yeah.
that sucks, man. That sucks.
Yeah, a lot of like a lot of festivals, like half of the festivals that I do, I don't need to do a vlog. So then I'll just do like one vlog for the entire thing. But some of the contracts that I have is like I need to create a vlog one per day and then do like 3 TikToks per day and then do like it. I have a huge list. Like it's like 2 pages long.
TikToks per day, bro. I don't pump out a TikTok a month.
Yeah, it's just like what when they know what I do, they expect more, and
Right, for
and
sure.
I'm not and I don't get like a free ticket. I get like 2 backstage passes or something like that. It's not, I don't get like it's part. Yeah, the more I
got
ask, the
you.
more I get. It's a quid pro
Right,
quo.
and you're valuable to them because you have such a big audience and you have, you exactly, you're valuable, so obviously they want you to be there and doing that. But that's asking a lot. That's crazy. I didn't realize. See, that's valuable information to me because I literally dead ass sometimes thought TikTok or influencers just like sick. They got to go to a festival like for free. You don't know that you have to like your time isn't like your time just to like have a few drinks or like have some party favors and have like that. You're like coherent and have to like look good and like be the part and like
Yeah.
like constantly be giving your energy to talk to people. Like I can it's like working in a way for you.
Like a small
It is.
percentage of the time when you do see me, I am just like, I just get like a small percentage of the time I do just like just go there to have fun or whatever, and they give me like a free ticket. Sometimes that happens. But I want to say most of the times I have a contract. Most of the times, even at a
Wow.
regular event and stuff like that, I have a contract. It's not like something it's like Imagine Music Festival, for instance, right? Before like the whole before I got canceled and all that stuff, I had been working with Imagine for a whole year full of content. So every month I had a list of stuff that I needed to do every month. Yeah,
Oh
a
my
year before
God.
Imagine started. So when I got to Imagine, it was canceled. I'm like, dude, I've been working with Imagine for a year doing nonstop content. So it's like,
Holy shit.
yeah, so I'm not like I didn't just get like a free ticket. Oh, here, come to our
Like,
festival.
no, I put fucking time into this.
Yeah, it's like,
I put effort into this.
and
Wow.
sometimes I do all this content for like a music festival, and I only get a GA pass anyways, and I'll work with them for like
No
months to a
way.
year. Yes,
Get
it'll
out of here with
it'll
that bullshit.
dude. That's what dude. Okay,
That's
so
bullshit.
I went to Denver to hang out with some of my friends, and I told them about that. How like sometimes at these festivals, I won't say which ones because I don't want to put blast anybody or
Don't do
whatever.
that. That's cool. We don't do
But
that. We
but
all know
there's
who it is anyways.
but but some festivals, man, like I do all this work and stuff, and they're like, yeah, like I'll give you a GA pass. Sometimes I get lucky and get a VIP pass, and then like I'll meet them in person, and they won't even take me back there. I'm like, listen, like I worked with you for like a whole year on like 5 of your festivals, and not once have you like taken me.
And
backstage.
you don't even like think I'm that big. I'm part of a team where you're gonna give me access to the whole festival that I just worked on. That's what it is to me. It's not about like, oh, I want to people. It's not about like, oh, I want to be backstage. Usually backstage is hectic and actually you don't want to be backstage. You want to be able to move freely when you're working. You have a contract to fulfill. When you have people you have to meet. When I'm working, I have to get from stage to stage with my backpack. You have to be able to move freely and successfully for this festival that you're working through. This is your ground. So when I'm getting stopped at Rolling House and you can't come back here, or I can't go to front of house, and my team is running that front of house, I'm like,
yeah,
I have 4 wristbands on, a radio, and like a guy behind me. Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? So it's definitely about that. Like, it's disrespectful for you to make me do all this work for this festival and not even hold me at my value to the point where that it's about being respectful. Like, this person just worked really hard for us.
yeah.
Let's give them free access so they can move comfortably, because I don't know if y'all be going to GA festivals all the time, and some people just love it, and I have friends in the industry who still do it, but it's not comfortable once you understand the way it moves back. So you move backward on the backside, and the way you just have to be able to move to network, and it's not the same. And so it's disrespectful, I think, that they don't even let you flow freely through that. That's what it's about.
And it all goes to like who you're valuing, right? Like, do you hold these people valuable? Luckily, like I have so many friends in the industry. If the festival won't make it worth my while. And
There's another way to do it.
I obviously know the artist, or I know this and this, and like it's not gonna be a big problem. But I wish the
But you don't
festival,
have to do that.
no,
I shouldn't have. I should be respected and taken seriously enough where I shouldn't have to be like, "Hey, I'm working this, but they only gave me GA. Can you get me back? Can you come get me an extra wristband?" Like, you shouldn't have to do that shit,
yeah.
especially if you're working for them.
Yeah, but I mean, it all comes to like knowing your worth, right? And I think a lot of times when we start off, I've been doing this for about 7 years, so like I know my worth now. But like when I first started, I wasn't asking for a lot, and I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't.
because you just want the opportunity.
Yeah, but
You're
now that like,
hungry for the opportunity. I'm going through this currently where
mm,
I'm learning my worth as a contractor, and I used to be like, "Oh, I'll just take whatever. I'm glad to have the job." Now I'm like, no, this has
mhm.
happened. You pay for this, you do this. This is, and I've been in worked for companies where I know the norm. So you can't pull some like, nah, this is the norm. Like, no, like that's not how this
Yeah,
works. And yeah, you have to like sit down and negotiate this is what I
yeah.
expect.
The way
Or
I
fuck
do
you
it,
over.
the way I do it is like I do it like the like how like Microsoft Word or like the Microsoft Office, they give you like certain plans. That's literally how I do it. Like I'm like, if you want me to do this much content, this is the plan that I want. This if you want this much content.
Oh yeah, it's like a package
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah.
Like
You click the package
this
you
is what
want.
you get for this. This is what you
I
get for
started
this.
doing that 2 years ago and giving
That's so
people
good.
I started giving people an option. I think for the only time that somebody actually ever declined me was Thunder Beats. I sent out my proposal for Thunder Beats. I gave them 3 options of what they could do, and here's what I could give them. I was like, yeah, I'll do a podcast episode with one of the founders or one of the people who are hosting the festival. I'll do a lineup review on my YouTube channel. It'll also go on IG Live if you wanted to. I could do a couple posts, some on walls, some on stories, a couple TikToks, and I want to also provide a booth at the event where I could give people a sanctuary with like bean bags and waters and stuff like that.
Oh,
I was gonna do a whole like like for
that's so
like
good. A
safe space.
sanctuary for
Yeah,
ravers.
yeah.
Oh,
And we're gonna have like a lot of like free giveaways. I was gonna make shirts for everybody, and like it's just
so
like a
sick.
really nice place to just sit down if you're just having like a bad trip or something. And
Yeah.
I gave them a proposal, and when I'm telling you that we were going back and forth on emails, and when I sent them that proposal, they like no longer wanted to talk to me. They're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna give you all that. I'm like,
Well,
here's
Thunderbeats obviously
here's
did
what I
not
was
have their
asking
shit
for. Here's
together.
what I was asking for, right? I was willing to provide them as much content as they wanted. I was willing to like really put my like work with them on this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was one of the proposals was I was gonna need 5 staff passes for me and the people who are gonna be working that sanctuary. If
Oh
that's
yeah.
okay, that was one. The other one was like, hey, I'm gonna need 1 backstage pass and 2 VIPs, or one
That's not
backstage
that
pass
much.
and 4 GAs. These are the things that I want. That's it, right? And then yeah, no, they're like, no, we're not gonna give
That's
you
the
all that.
only festival that declined. Everything else usually takes
Yeah, yeah,
bites.
yeah.
That's so sick. I love that for you. That's so cool. But yeah, see, it's like I'm getting this is really neat that I get to see like a world or a window into how you operate in this because I operate very similar, but with different things. So it's cool. It's very neat.
A lot of people think that I just get like free tickets to shows, like just cause, and I don't do
No,
any.
I knew that you did. There's a method to the madness, but
Yeah.
I honestly didn't really know how it worked or how that happened. So that's cool. That's really cool.
I think a lot of DJs don't really know because I think a lot of like my haters are DJs because I get like more incentives than DJs do, it's like
Haters are fans. They're just
I,
fans.
I had one I had
No
one
one
guy.
watches you more than the people that hate you.
It's life, but tell me this because I think we skipped the whole introduction.
Yeah, we just went straight in.
I know I love that, and I was thinking like maybe I should do that more. Katie, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from?
Well, yeah, you got a lot of my backstory and my personality, I guess now. But I am a LED engineer and a VJ in the music entertainment industry, or I guess maybe not just music entertainment. Obviously, I've done some like corporate gigs here and there, but it's not my vibe. Like really, my focus is on festivals, EDM. This year I got thrown into a lot of rap stuff.
Mhm.
Like I've done so much rap stuff this year, and I'm about to go on another rap tour coming up. But so yeah, I'm a VJ and LED engineer. So there's 2 sides to the video side of festivals or any concert you go to. There's the side of like the screens you see are um like 1 foot by 2 feet, 1 foot by 1 foot panels, like video panels, and they have to be built like locked together, cabled, and then you sit on a computer and you like tell them what's going on pretty much. So that's one side. So that's like the LED or like technician
Do
engineer
you
side.
put them together?
I do, yeah. So I do all that. That's why I started out. It's a really physically hard work. Like me and my best friend do it, and she's this 4'11" Asian girl. Her name's Savannah, and people recognize us like at festivals. Because if you don't know me, but you see Savannah, you're like, oh my God, I know your friend Kate. Like people know us together. It's super cool. But so me and her, we started that. And I did that for I'm still doing it. It's like most of my bread and butter. But I was like, there's another side of it. So I build the wall, and then someone plugs a computer in and puts content onto it. That's called the content operation, like content op or VJ. VJ is more of like an EDM word. Visual jockey is more of like it's really in more niche in EDM, but content op. And so I was like, why am I building this stuff? Because it's very hard. When I can just run the stuff, why can I run it? So I bought like a laptop, and I've been working on learning how to run Resolume and run just get good content creatively. I've done some artists, and so I started doing that, and that was a lot harder to build, but I was lucky that I was in a scene with a lot of EDM DJs that I just met through someone. I also, as most people know, dated a EDM DJ. And so
slash rapper,
love it, right? But no, he did a lot from that relationship in that perspective or that way. Did a lot because when DJs start, like you don't have real time, like you don't get time to plug in front of an audience, and I don't care how much you practice on your TV at home. It's not the same. The energy's not the same. The pressure's not the same. The what comes out of you is not the same. And so I got a lot of real plug-in time to real screens at clubs, at shows, because I was learning how to VJ, and he got booked, and so that that did a lot for me, and that gave me the leg up because I got a lot of rep in. So I got good fast, or decent fast. I'm not great. I got decent fast. So I got, and then I started, that we knew people. So I would ask, I was behind the scenes, and I was a new VJ behind the scenes. So I was getting introduced to people, and I was meeting people. And so simultaneously, as I'm working really hard to build LED walls all the time, they're so hard. But then I'm also learning how to do this. And so it got to the point where I kind of did like, maybe I'm at like 70-30. So 70% I'm building and teching, and then the other 30% I actually get like paid to push buttons, which is cool. Just literally just to pay sets. And so it's getting, now that Imminent has brought me on, I get a lot more VJ gigs. So maybe it's at like, or front of house gigs. So maybe it's at like 50, 40, 60. So it's getting closer. Obviously the goal is for me to never build another video wall again. But just like joking, but not. It's so.
Wait, do you own the LED cubes or squares? I mean, or there's something like the
so companies own them.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I get contracted from a company. So Music Matters, I work from them in Atlanta. They kind of grew me and my friend Savannah. They get all these contracts. Like, okay, we got a contract with Music Midtown. Now or Imagine Festival. They always do Imagine Festival. I've done, built with them with Imagine. We're gonna do Imagine Festival. Now we have a warehouse full of equipment. We're gonna send it out. We have to hire freelance technicians to put the shit together.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm a freelance technician. I get companies calling me, say, hey, I have this wall that needs to be built in this venue at this time for this artist. This is the product. Can you build it?
Badass.
And then I just show up and I cry. And
it's like me when I take a shower. Cry.
I just show up and I'm like, why do I do this shit? It's so rewarding, and it's really cool, and I really love it, but it is very labor intensive, like physically on my body, on my sleep. It's really hard. And so that's why I'm trying to get more into like the front of house side. And I want to just be able to, like, when I toured as the V1. So I was the video engineer on site. So I toured as the person building the wall every day. And then I handed the wall to someone who then put content on it for an hour and got paid more than me. So
That's
I
how
did
life
that.
works.
I'm never building ever again. I'm never ever touring, building a wall ever again. And then I got offered recently by a really good company to do, I'm not going to say the artist yet, because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I think I can. But I have a really OG rapper. I got offered to do a building tour, and so it's both. So I'll build the wall and I'll VJ for for 3 weeks in North America in October, and then I get to spend a month in Europe. So Amsterdam, Paris, Berlin, Dublin, like crazy, right? So I spent a month. I'm gonna spend December in Europe, building more video walls, but that one was worth it. You know, a month free to get paid to go to Europe is mind blowing to me. It's like crazy that even happened.
You ever been?
No, I've never been. I've only been to Canada. I've been to Canada once. I got this tattoo in Canada. So I went to Canada. That's the only time I've been out of the country. So I think it's gonna be really amazing.
I went to Germany last October, and you know, I thought that I could rent a car automatic. You know, I should have learned how to drive.
I used to drive a stick. You can't drive a stick.
I know.
Boy.
It's so shameful. I learned.
So shameful.
I know. I learned when I was like 15, and like at this point, I don't remember at all. Right? It's just like if you don't use it, I just don't remember. It's not like
Yeah, you gotta use that. You're right. Because I drove a stick shift every day for 6 years until 9 months ago. And I didn't know how to drive an automatic. I would slam my other foot down on my brake sometimes.
Oh my
God,
dangerous. That is so dangerous.
I was so dangerous. And then I would shift to low sometimes, and I'm on the highway. I'm like, no, like it took my anxiety. Was like, I need to be doing more. But now that I don't do shit when I drive, you know, now I just drive my beautiful automatic. my carpal tunnel in my leg is going away. I had to get some physical therapy on my ankle from during the stick. But I got a stick shift recently, and I can still drive one, honestly. But like, you gotta use that stuff. It's hard. Like muscle memory's there, but it's unless let's say you do it for like a year or 2 or 6 years like that, you don't get the muscle memory that you actually like need.
I love automatic, man, because like I have back pain and leg pain and foot pain. I like putting on cruise control and just like
my stick shift caused all that pain. So now here I am. So you went to Germany and you couldn't drive.
And I couldn't drive, and that's like one of the things where like it sucks. Because I got to the rental car place and they didn't have any cars for me. I'm like, oh, I'm so fucked.
You're fucked.
Like so then the entire time I had to get like an Uber app, but it was like different. It was an Uber. It was like I had to go and ask somebody like, oh, what kind of app should I get? And you know, and then
the app's not in English.
It's not in English. And then so then I started learning how to take the train in German. You know, I didn't know how to read. So then I got an app that would decipher what it would say.
Decipher, you mean translate? It would decipher what German says. I'm dead. So good.
And I was like, oh my God, let me tell you about my story right now.
I want to hear this German story.
I went to Frankfurt. From there, we drove all the way to Stuttgart. Stuttgart, great place. I love it. I mean, it was a very like casual, very like normal, like places to go to, like raves and shit. It was pretty nice. But I was like, oh, I want to take it up a next level, and I want to go to Berlin. So I took the train to Berlin. I missed my train because I didn't know where to go. So then I couldn't read. One of the next one. The guy on there was like, "Hey, where's your ticket?" I'm like, "I don't even know what a ticket is."
I don't know about that thing.
So I'm like, English, and nobody there could speak English, and I was like, shit. Somebody there was like, oh, hey, they're asking you for your ticket. I'm like, yes, I did buy something. I don't know if it's the right ticket to the right train though. So I showed him. He goes, yeah, right ticket, and clicks it. And then I'm like, sir, do you know where my seat is at? And he just looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no English.
No English.
So I don't know for I think it was like 6-8 hours. I didn't know where my seat was, so I just kept like going to empty seats. And then when I got told to move,
6 to 8 hours.
When I got told to move to a different seat, I just moved to a different seat. I got told to move out of my seat like 3 times.
Like for the next 8 hours, I just seat hopped because nobody would tell me where to go.
I apparently was like at first class for like a good 3 hours, and until I got kicked out. There was like a wait. There was like a waiter that came in and was asking me for my food options, this and this, and then later on, whatever is on the menu, I'll take.
I can't read that.
Yeah, so I mean, you're gonna love Germany in general. Like Europe in general is so great. I want to go back. I want to definitely go to like London and Paris. I think those would be great places to visit.
Amsterdam's gonna be so sick. I'm excited because when you tour, your life is mindless. Okay, all you do. There's like you're in a time zone. You're like a time warp. Like all you do is work. You don't have to think about what to eat. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner laid out in a room for you. You just go get it. And then all you do is do the exact same work you did the day before or the day before that. And same day, literally you just wake up in a tour bus in a parking lot. It's like everything is so like mindless. You know what I mean? I ran out of water. But
Who did you tour with last? I know you
but it's
just
gonna
had
be. Sorry, I like totally distracted. It's mindless, and so it's nice. So I'm excited to be able to go to tour or go to Europe completely taken care of in a way. Like it's gonna be hard work, but it's like I don't have to worry about like booking hotels or moving transportation because they're gonna transport me where I need to go. They're gonna have the hotels booked. I don't have to go to restaurants because all the food's gonna be there. It's like that's exciting that I'm gonna be able to do that, and so I'm gonna have like a safety blanket, and then on my days off I can explore and stuff, but it's not going to be chaotic because I have this like home base that they're going to
the
give
tour
me.
manager handles all that stuff, right? They're the ones that
Oh
handle.
my God, yeah, everybody. I mean, it's TM usually, but like our tour manager, not the artist tour manager, like the tour manager for the production.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
the artist tour manager is all usually just for the artist. The TM, we don't. Yeah, it's a very different team. The TM for us is like our production manager, or tour. It's for the people of the crew.
It's for the people.
It's for the people. Okay, they handle like they're the one who gets us bus talk, make sure our bus has water. Like they're the ones who like when we wake up in the morning, they like get your hotel. They'll usually get your hotel key for you and have it on in the bus. So you just wake up.
Wait a minute. So like when you go on tour, is it so you're not going with an artist, you're just going with the production team and they're going to different artists?
No. So you're going with so like on the Rust tour, right? I was going with a vendor, so I was the third our company got the vending contract to provide the wall and the lights. I was a tech through them. But yeah, so we toured on 3 buses. The artists had their bus, 2 production bus or 4 buses. Artist bus, 4 production buses. So it's like content ops, like production managers, everybody else is touring. We all go to the same cities, but we're very separated from the artist side of things. Like, or we were at least in the Rust tour. Like some tours are the artists are more like intertwined. But we didn't really see him at all. Like I didn't see him at all. I didn't see much of his team at all. Like it was really just like we drop it, we kind of show up, we build our shit, and then we kind of like chill at front of house or go back to the bus, usually take a nap for an hour. Till showtime. So but it's really easy, and so it's nice to like all my hotels are all my flights, all it's gonna be taken care of, and I'm not gonna have to be like super scared in another country by myself. And so that's exciting that I get to go experience all these really cool countries, kind of with with like a good backbone, and like a good, it'll be
Listen,
exhausting,
if it's the beautiful thing is if you end up getting lost, at least you're lost with a lot of people, because that's like the beauty of it all. I don't mind being lost with more people, but if I'm lost by myself, dude, okay,
I can't do it by myself.
Okay, this just between you and me, okay? And everybody watching. Okay. So when I was in Germany, I took the train back to Frankfurt. Apparently there's different Frankfurt locations, and it took me all the way almost to Poland. I had a flight to catch. When I tell you that I didn't know how to get my train back to go back to like place I needed to go to, I sat in a corner and I started crying. Somebody was like, "Are you okay?"
I cried too. I cried on the LAX floor one time of the airport. So
somebody asked me if I was okay, and I was like, "Oh, you speak English? Thank God."
Thank God.
I'm like, help me buy a ticket back to where I need to go, and they helped me, and I was finally able to get back on the right train. And then I was almost home. I was only 30 minutes away, but I was like, okay, I can either find a taxi or I can get another train. So I didn't know where my next train was going to be at. And I'm like, maybe I'll just take a taxi. I was kept asking people, anybody speak English? Anybody? Like, I just need to go back home because I need to catch a flight. Like
you're like
2 hours. It's so bad. Yeah, that's what it is. Now, if I was with my friends and we all looked at each other and we're like, oh, we're fucked, I would have laughed. I wouldn't have been crying.
Let's go drink, like whatever.
Fuck us.
Together. Yeah, but you're by yourself. You're like, oh, this
being
is
by yourself
stressful.
sucks. So it's gonna be great. You're gonna be with a whole bunch of people. I mean, like,
it'll be good.
You know what they say? Misery loves company, because with company you just have a great time. So
you're so right. On tour, the tour was hard. Like I have a list of like the tour was amazing in some ways, but I have a list of things on my phone that's called shitty things that happened, and you have to scroll like this, bro. And people are like, "There's no way all this happened on this tour." And like one of them is like, the bus broke down on the side of Seattle and we all had to walk across the highway at 6 a.m. Like crazy shit happened. It was so bad. But then the good thing about it was the whole tour, the people around me were incredible. Like I've talked to people who like, dude, touring sucks. You have to live with all these people. The people around me, like everybody was like, damn, this tour sucks, but I love all you guys. So like every day we got to go in it together. We'd be like,
That's what I'm saying.
so it's so true.
Yeah, I learned that in the military when I first entered. It was the most miserable time of my entire life, going to basic training like boot camp.
I bet it was.
But I had like 60 other people to share this misery with, and I was like, we could just all cry together, and I feel better about it. Like
exactly. My best friend and I, when we go on gigs, we actually literally started using this as leverage. We hit companies up who hit us up for jobs. I'm like, I'll only do this if you put her on. And this has been working this year. And then we're like, it's gonna be trash, but we're gonna do it together, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And then a company canceled her the other day, and they called me, they texted me, it was like, listen, Savannah's not like, we don't have enough work for Furnish to take both of you now. Like, are you still gonna do it? Because she's not gonna be on it now. And I haven't given them a response.
I need my partner in crime. I'll tell you.
I'm like, I need her with me, or I can't do this shitty gig.
Dude, even like, so like one of the shows, my good friend, she just put me on like the guest list, and I was like, hey, can you add my friend too? Because I really kind of don't want to go, but if like my friend goes, then I might go because like, fuck it.
We'll go together.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
It's so crazy, and we're so privileged to be in a time where we get to complain about these things.
So privileged.
Because like people will be like, wait, someone gets to see, like it's a free ticket. I'm like, I know, but
we're like, but I need the +1.
But if there's no +1, I don't want to go.
I'm not going. Oh my god. So oh my god, that's so funny you asked or you said that, because I definitely hit someone up I have someone in town, and I hit someone up that a club I used to work at. It's a good friend of mine, and I was like, hey, like, can I have me and a +1 for this show? It's a wax motif show. Like, it'll be cool. I want to. He's a big guy in the industry. I want to come and like show him like wax motif, blah blah blah. And she was like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, but then like also, are we gonna like, what kind of ticket this is? Because I'll pay you if I can like make sure like we're taken care of. And she's like, no, you don't have to pay me. You're gonna be like obviously taken care of. Like it'll be like, we'll just meet me. I'll meet you when you get in there. We'll take care of it. I'm like, sick. But I definitely was like, if these are just like regular spots, we're not gonna show up. Like I need like it's like so bougie, but it's not in a way, because I don't want to go by myself, and I don't want to go stand in a crowd with my friends, like we're touring with some of the biggest names. Like I'm not gonna bring friends in the industry and not be able to like offer them like, hey, we're gonna get taken care of. So that's just kind of where that comes from. Like, like I'm not going if I have to go by myself, if I don't really even want to come to the event anyways.
It comes with the territory, I feel like, because like I don't want to sound entitled.
No, this is all out of love. Like it's all it doesn't sound entitled. It's all out of love, but it is like it's like a funny thing when you're like between us to joke like, oh, that's like such a privilege for us to be complaining about, because it is. Yeah, and we're just making fun of ourselves in a way, but also, and it's a way that people understand that this is our job in our life. Like I eat, breathe, sleep, live this, and and at some point you expect certain things because of who the people how we operate, the way we work, and so you come to new comfort levels and stuff like that.
Could you imagine you worked for Walmart and they told you couldn't go to the back room? I mean, you work here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or you have to park in the back. Like you're like, I work here and I have to carry all my shit into Walmart all the way there when you could just let me park right here.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Exactly. Like, why would you not give me like the courtesy of letting me move through you? Because this is your job, and you get a good opportunity to go network and get content.
That's
and,
what I'm saying.
Do it. That's exactly. So
this wouldn't be happening right now if it wasn't for networking. You know what I mean?
No, it's about who you know. Okay?
No, it's about who knows you.
It's about your network. Like when you start meeting, your network is mostly, you have to have skills. So I always say, once you get your network, you got to know somebody or know people, and once you start building the network from a few connections, then your skills have to keep you in the door. So you're there, but if you're a trash person or you don't have the skill in the where you're coming in, then that's not going to keep you in the door.
Yeah.
And so people aren't going to want you around.
Doors close pretty quick,
very quickly. So you have to be on it when you get these opportunities and be able to like keep up with yourself and who, in your presentation and who you are and what you want from this. But you're totally right that if it's like, if you have to have like is what you expect to be able to like cancel plans. You know what I mean? Like you're not if you're going to this, you want this. Getting my network, building my network is valuable to me. But if I can't,
well,
and if I can't do that,
remember like this, like I'm in between jobs right now, right? So for me, it's like if I was to go and get a backstage pass, network, and tell somebody like, oh, I'm jobless at the moment, looking for a remote job within the industry. Could you imagine if I got a job like that? It's like
you would.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to sound snobby. It's just I work in the industry and I want to keep working in the industry. It's all about the opportunities that I'm given, and and not to say that I don't go to festivals sometimes and just enjoy myself. I do. Like I went to Global Dance Music Festival. Day one, I was backstage, shaking hands, like, hey, well, how you doing? Talking to the people, adding people. We're like all chatting. I was with like like a lot of like good artists. We were just hanging out, smoking a couple blunts. We're just socializing, right? Making some good quality times. So the next time I see them, they know who I am, etc.
Yes, because that's what networking is.
Yeah. And then the next day, I didn't go backstage at all. I had an artist wristband, didn't go backstage at all. Why? Because I was like, I owe it to my friends to like at least have one day with me.
Friends. I always have friends in the crowd, and they're just like, we're in the middle of GA by the totem with the squirrel on it. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm on stage like, oh, there's the squirrel totem. Fuck. And I gotta go out there and like rage with them and just like go hard with them. But like you're totally right. It's like the friends. You gotta go out and spend time with them. I wish they could have them back there, but you have to. It's like that's what keeps me out. You're totally right. That's what gets me out.
I do it sometimes. If I can get as many backstage passes as I can and bring them all with me, I will. Sometimes I can get one or two back here, and then we could just all rage backstage, and like
I know backstage raging.
Yeah. On stage raging, guys. Sometimes I take them on stage. I took my friend Kandi Diva, I think back in 2019, global, no, 2021, one of the globals, and I was like, hey, do you want to go backstage with us? We're gonna go on stage. I know you don't have a wristband, just stick with us and we'll get you up there. And she was like, this is gonna like make my entire year, like, whoa. And I took her back there, up there, and it was just so
that's being able to do that for your friends.
Could you imagine? Cool. Yeah, I love, watch right now. I'm gonna get a bunch of DMs. So like, can I be your friend? Like,
oh my God, we're friends now. I know I haven't talked to you since 8th grade, but we're friends.
I had a guy. I bumped into, and the first words that came out of his mouth was like, hey man, is there any way you can get me to VIP? And I was like, why would I do that?
Why would I do that?
Like, dude, if I was gonna get somebody VIP, it's gonna be either
it's
gonna be one of my friends or a follower that has just been so supportive to me. Because I will do that for a follower. I'll do that for a follower any day,
Yeah, of course. If someone's supporting you, make their year. It's nice to be able to exactly. It's cool that you've gotten to the point in this industry, and I'm not honestly. You have more lead in that than I do because as production, we get like our bands. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can make it work where the stage manager has an extra. You can make it work and get someone in, but I don't have pull to be like, yo, I need 4 more bands to get my sisters in. Like that would be sick, if we could do that. But
I don't have that kind of pull.
No, but like in a way, you can ask. You have a channel to ask for bands if you need some, so you can make people's day. I wish I could do that for just like every festival. I could just bring one friend back. Okay, I'd be so just to like let them get a few videos, have fun, take a picture, and like have the greatest time ever, and like then drop them back in. I wish I could do that, but I don't always get the opportunity to do that. So
it doesn't. I'll be honest. Like you have the same capabilities as I do. All it is just networking and just having the right friends to be like, hey, like so and so is here. Would you mind? Whatever. Nowadays I just add an extra one to the contract. Just because
you got the contract with the extra band in it. That's sick. That's really cool. This has been really fun. I'm glad that we've had a chance to catch up and have like some good conversation, quality conversation.
Where can people find you? What are your handles?
Oh, okay. Well,
I wasn't ready for this.
I wasn't ready for my handles. No, KatieWithTheBlueHair is my Instagram. So I can't believe I got that tag like 3 years ago. Can I tell the story about the tag?
Yes.
And then we can go. Yeah. Okay. So the story about the tag is, I was doing some VJ work for Subdocta and the Blunts and Blondes Hotbox tour before COVID, and Blunts and Blondes' girlfriend Chelsea every time I would go somewhere, they would be, oh, you're bringing the VJ with the blue hair. And so we were in the backstage, and Chelsea, Blunts and Blob's girlfriend, she was like, you got to just make that your Instagram handle. And I was like, there's no way that it's open. And it was open. Katie with the blue hair. So here I am. Shout out to her for helping me with that. But that's how it came. And now I have no exit strategy, and my hair is going to be blue forever. So Katie with the blue hair is my Instagram. My Twitter is, let's see, _ I'm blue. And
was it taken there?
Yes. It was taken.
They must have watched. It's Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea did it. Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, so it's taken. So I'm _ I'm blue, and I think it's _ I'm blue on TikTok as well. My TikTok's a lot of my dog. He's super cool. You should go check him out on TikTok. But other than that, yeah. So yeah, go follow me. If yeah, I don't know what your audience is like. I honestly, but whoever's out there, I think if you guys have any questions about wanting to get into this, or where to start, if you want to get into the production side of things, or even if you're a female that has questions, like, please hit me up, because someone did this for me. My friend Savannah was above me and brought me in, and I have a girl, her name's Nicole. She's working at It Matters now. She was a bartender with me at a club, and she's like got hired full time, and she's in it, like starting where I started now.
That's
and I
badass.
love it. She's the girl who dyed her hair pink.
Yeah.
So I love, circle around. I love her for that. And so Savannah and I talk about all the time trying to bring women into this industry. Like,
dude.
Me and one of the guys from Imminent's girlfriend and a girl named Rebecca are the only 3 females that have ever worked for Imminent. Like, there's not a lot of females doing this.
This is why I wanted to have you. It's because, like, I want to bring more women into my podcast, and I was like, dude, when I thought about you,
I want to be a resource. I want to be a resource. Savannah and I always talk about starting like a female VJ collective, or starting just like training course for females, and just bringing them into the industry, because it's so male saturated, and like we kick ass. And if you guys want to know what's going on or how to do it, or what I can start, please hit me up, and any resources I can, I will pass forward to you. So I would love to be able to like inspire just like one person to quit their stupid day job and go head on to whatever you want to do. My life, I would feel great about it. So
it's a fucking dream, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. I'm sorry I had to postpone yesterday, but
no, you're fine.
Got it. I'll see you at Imagine. We're gonna definitely have to link up at Imagine, take some pictures. It'll be fun.
All right. Thank you, Katie with the blue hair. All right. So that was fun. Katie with the blue hair. Honestly, I might dye my hair blue now. Now that I got her approval. I think she's the only one technically that I can think of that was like that has like actually blue hair. I think a lot of people have like pink. They have pink and green seem to be like one of the 2 colors like everybody just has. So my favorite color is green. I was gonna go blue. I don't know. I think blue just works better with like my dark skin. Do I have dark skin? I have like in the middle, huh? But anyways, this episode is going to be available on all major streaming platforms. I try to put it on most things, like Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. I even have this like Amazon Music, or is it Amazon Podcast now? I don't know. I have this also on YouTube, so if you guys are trying to like actually see the video version, they have it on that. I don't have this. I mean, I'm going to check right now if it's on Spotify, but I don't know how other people do it. I just upload it as a video file, and hopefully it does it, but I've never actually checked. And then I think, I don't know, for the most part, just look at my bio, and it'll have the link tree with everything on there. But thank you guys so much. And like I say at every episode, I hope I see y'all at the next one. Bye.